Okay, tonight I'm going to make a very special dinner for my wife and I. My children and the rest of my family get to enjoy dinners with me all the time. I cook as creative as I can every night, but this one is special for my wife and I for Valentine's Day. So I'm doing some strip loins. I'm going to grill them. I've got baked potatoes, but I'm going to bake them, take everything out, mash it. I've got a butter, cream, cheese, chive, salt and pepper mixture that I'll melt down in the microwave just prior to mashing it with these potatoes, and then I'll stuff it back in, put them back in the oven, and I got a little bit of cheese to garnish it with after. I'm also going to make a bit of a vinaigrette to go over top of my steak. Not a lot of people would think of doing this. Something I created a few years ago, and I'll show you the ingredients in that in a few seconds. We got rapini, which is a Middle Eastern type broccoli, I guess you could say. Has a bit of a bitterness to it, but I do it with a butter, garlic sauce, a little salt and pepper, kind of a nice flavor, and it'll bring this dish together really nice. Oops, sorry about that. Now for my steaks, I like to keep the seasoning real simple. Salt and pepper. And generously apply it. You want to be able to taste it. It'll caramelize on there as you cook. Okay, we've got both sides of the steak salted. I don't tend to use a lot of pre-made spices. I like to make my own. Okay, so I'm going to get my potatoes into the oven. I'm going to put them in at 400 degrees, and it's probably the size of these potatoes, probably about an hour. So, but I'm going to skip to my vinaigrette there. So I've got about a teaspoon of honey, about a tablespoon of chives chopped, maybe eighth of a teaspoon of salt and pepper each. I'm just going to put the bit of zest into here. Again, as we did with the lemons, you only want to get the green part of the lime. You don't want any of the white, or it will become bitter, and the rapini will already have that bitterness to it. So we don't need a lot of zest. I just want a little bit because it is just for the two of us, so I'm not going to make a big vinaigrette here. So I'm just going to cut this lime in half, and then I'm just going to squeeze it into the bowl, and I'll stir it with a small whisk. I have some smaller ones there. Okay, I've got my lemon juice and that in. I got these little whisks at a little kitchen store one time. They work really good if you're just doing small amounts instead of getting a big whisk out. But I'm just going to whisk that together. When I'm getting ready to plate my steak, I will just drizzle this ever so slightly over top of the steak. It really adds a wonderful flavor that I have served to many people, and they enjoy it immensely. Okay, so I'm going to take the potato, I already started one, out of the skin, and I'm going to put it into this bowl, and then I'm going to mash the mixture into it once I have it all in there. Okay, I've melted the cheese, butter, chives, salt, and pepper in the microwave. Just in the cream, there was cream in there too. I'm just going to pour that into my potato that I've taken out of the skins. Scrape it and get all the good bits out. I'm going to give it a quick mash. Okay, I've got my potatoes mashed with all the yummy stuff in there. I'm just going to pack it back into the potato skins. I want it to be equal between the two potatoes, but I don't want it to be over full. So I'm going to start with that, and I'll add some into this one just so I can make sure they both get equal amounts. So I got the potato back into the skins, so I'm going to put it back in the oven for about 10 more minutes, just to kind of let it heat all the way through. Then I'm going to apply some cheese to the top of that, so that way it'll be nice and melty, and then I'll serve it with some sour cream. Okay, so I'm going to get my steaks on the grill. And I also have the rapini in a pan. I've probably added about a quarter cup of water, just a couple of sprinkles, so let's say maybe a quarter teaspoon of vinegar, into the pan, and I just kind of let that slowly simmer. So I've got the steaks on the grill. I want to get a nice sear on that side, so I'm going to leave them there for probably about 3 or 4 minutes before I even consider turning them over. The rapini has wilted down, so I'm actually going to strain off the bit of water, and I'm going to start to add the butter and garlic. Okay, so I'm going to add some butter and some fresh garlic into the pan. Again, I took off the excess water, so I'm now going to let the butter and the garlic kind of do their thing. Just going to put this off to the side. And I'm going to season the rapini with some salt and pepper as well. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes now, so I'm just going to turn the steak for the first time. Just going to give it a little flip there. And as you can see, the really nice caramelize. It's really starting to caramelize on the other side. Looking really nice. Got the butter and the garlic with the rapini, salt and pepper going away there too, and the potatoes are in the oven. Okay, there you go. We got strip loin steak, twice stuffed baked potato, rapini, put a little dollop of sour cream on there. Hope you enjoy, and please tune in to next week. Thank you.